So hello, in this interview I'll be talking to the manager of Imperial Wharf, Louis Beneventi, and getting his thoughts and opinions on the club. So first of all, how are you? You doing
I'm good,
well?
thank you, Callum. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What made you start Imperial Wharf and what makes it so special to you?
I started Imperial Wharf in 2019 with a couple of friends of mine. It's been a project that I've been trying to get going for a few years. Um, and for me, I've been working within football fan media for about 4 years, 5 years actually. And I wanted a new challenge. And Imperial Wolf presented itself to me. And I kind of been sitting there thinking about wanting to do something, and I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. Obviously, we'd spin the likes of hashtag United, SC Dons, Rebel FC. A lot of big teams had emerged from that space. So we thought, we'll give it a go. Let's try and go for it. And for me, it's been an ever growing project ever since. Lots of fantastic players have come to play for us. Lots of obviously done really well to kind of build themselves up and go on to get club contracts as well at a professional level. So for me, it's just a passion project for me. I'm very happy to be doing it.
Have you got any aspirations for the season? Are you hoping to get promoted?
So unfortunately, we can't actually get promoted this season. So it was a kind of a we left playing a YouTube league to come into non-league, and the only non-league league that was available was actually one which was just a standalone division. So we headed into that division. It's the WELAFA, and we are currently top of the league. So for us, the aspirations, even though we can't get promoted, we're going into the actual pyramid next year. We're looking to potentially and hopefully win the league and the cup double. So that's kind of what we're aiming to do this season.
What are your aspirations for the future? Is it to be like hashtag United, try and do your own version of that? Or
So I don't think being like hashtag United is the right way to say it.
they
I
have done a
think
very good job with it.
that they have done a good job, but that's a blueprint. It's
Yeah.
not. I don't want to be another hashtag United. I want us to be our own sort of thing. It's a fantastic blueprint to follow. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to slate hashtag for what they've done. Um, but for me, I'd like to do a similar thing. But I think for us is we want to be more embracing of football culture. We were doing a bit of research recently. We found that even though hashtag do that, um, their takeover of AFC Basel, which is now hashtag Women, didn't go down so well within the local community. And for us, one of the big things we're doing is we actually want to work within women's football, but we don't want to just go in with a straight rebrand with a club. We want clubs to be able to maintain their own identity, and we support them, and they grow on their own individual path, as well as us supporting them as a club as well and coming into our umbrella. So for me, the aspirations is to grow the club, have it linked within its community, both globally and locally as well. And then obviously for me, the Premier League, Champions League, taking the club that far, that's the dream. So I can't say that I want to be another hashtag, but
Yeah.
we obviously do have very similar ambitions to them as a club.
Good to hear. Do you feel like you get much support from your local FA in terms of like pitches, maybe any funding or anything, or is it all left
So
to
we are
you?
completely self-funded. When I say self-funded, it's me. So we've got a couple of sponsors that have come in to help us with playing for kits and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
London Blue Podcasting Away fans have been very supportive of the project. But we're mainly self-funded. We want to. I'm popular. What's going on there?
As
We
always.
want to, we do want to have a bit more of an understanding with our FA, but I think especially with this year, a lot of clubs have found it very difficult to get full support from their football associations. Getting grants and getting finances, unless you are well, you're stood well within a community. If you compared to if you just started, is nigh on impossible. Also, I just feel in general, London as a city, it has such a huge pool of talent that has such a limited space in terms of football pitches. So, you look at some of the biggest cities around the world. You look at other countries where they have thousands of football pitches in comparison to London, which has a few hundred, and it allows players to flourish and develop and do their thing. Whereas in London, it's very difficult. I think one thing that we found this year is, obviously being a team named Imperial Wharf, we wanted to play in Southwest London. We were originally based in Rayners Lane, fantastic community, really fitted in. It just didn't work out in the end. Um, But the biggest problem is there is a very limited amount of pitches in southwest London.
Yeah.
All 11-a-side pitches are based north of the river. So it's something which we have really struggled to deal with. So our home pitch is currently in Shepherd's Bush. We do want to expand. We do want to go elsewhere, but we as a club, it's very difficult. But I can't just speak for me. I mean, I'm speaking for a lot of clubs here who have said similar things. A lot of chairmen have said different things, the same thing to me. So it's a difficult time to be running a football club. I think we were almost very unfortunate in our timing of it, but I don't think anybody could have predicted what was going to happen in 2020. So for us, it's just a case we've got to grin and bear it and continue to build. So whereas it's also been very rewarding in terms of offering us time to rebuild, local FAs since the pandemic's hit have found it very difficult. And look, I'm not going to sit here and just slate them. Obviously, it's very understandable that they found it very difficult, but they do need to support grassroots clubs, which we obviously have seen a lot of close down since the pandemic started.
Because you've seen a bailout with the League One and League Two teams from the Premier League, haven't you? But that doesn't seem to filter down into the lower teams, divisions where people could use it most.
Look, it's where people need it most, yes, but I mean, it's not what's on the telly.
Yeah.
And it all feels very forced, this Premier League bailout. It's not genuine. If it was genuine, we wouldn't be having this.
There's something in it for them as well.
It would happen 6 months ago. So, I think that with everything that's happened with the Premier League and the EFL, fair play to the Premier League for bailing clubs out. Doesn't feel genuine. That's my opinion. But the grassroots have got to come together and do their bit to make sure that they can help their own communities.
And lastly, has COVID affected you in any way? Obviously, there's been games cancelled, but
yes and no. Well, no, yes, it has. What do I mean? No. The first lockdown was very helpful to us. We were in our first season. It was a pilot season based to see if it worked out. It didn't work. We were in the YouTube division. We hadn't won a game. We were finding it very difficult. And this kind of gave us an opportunity to reflect and look back. We then obviously left the league. Lots of political things happening there where they failed to deliver on certain things, such as player safety, staff safety, fan safety. And it was just basically, it just didn't feel right for us. So we wanted to go into the pyramid. But obviously the games have been cancelled, yes. We haven't felt the impact of the second lockdown just yet. I no doubt that we will, because we've had a couple of players of ours. We rely on subs from players as well. They're going to have lost their jobs. We're going to need to find a way to support them. That's my role. That's what we do. As a club, our mantra is "My People Matter," which is every single person that pulls on our shirt, anyone who's involved with the club, we want to make sure that they're safe, they're helped, they can do what they can, and that they're they feel they're positively reinforced. But COVID has been difficult. It has been difficult. But like where I said, the first one's helped us. We just need to push on now and just see what happens. We will be here next year, the year after, hopefully. But we're just kind of taking it year by year. But at the minute, I'm just trying to make sure that we can get through to where we need to be honest.
Thank you, Louis, and good luck in your next game.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.